Hi, I'm Mike Marino, and this is a brand new episode of Live from My Mother's Basement. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon. It all depends on when you're watching the podcast. Welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement. I'm very excited to do the third recording of this gentleman right now because we didn't record the first time. Something was wrong with the sound.
Yeah,
I think it was the sound.
And the second time something was wrong with me.
I'm glad he took the fall for that because I don't even remember what happened the second time. But the third time's a charm, whatever that means. So we're in the basement right now, and this is the legendary Glenn Alexander. He came all the way back down. It's actually really early in the morning for two entertainers on a Sunday to be recording. Now, I know a lot of people don't know that because I don't even know when this is going to air. But when you get a rock and roll star to come over your house at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
You know that cat's desperate.
All right, he said it, I didn't. We're exhausted, but we're going to have fun. We got some snacks on the bar, and we're wearing really cool shirts because
look at that.
I was really honored to be part of Pig Gig 8. But he started the whole Pig Gig. He's wearing Pig Gig 7. This is hilarious.
Right. Look at that.
Look at these shirts.
7 and 8, baby. There
fact,
we are. Whoop, I got to move in. Look at that.
Now that I look at this shirt, I want ribs.
Yeah, exactly.
I want some ribs.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you start off by telling us about what this was and how you and I met, and then we got to do this fundraiser.
Yeah.
And what it was actually for. Your friend and the family and those people, and then we'll get into you and your career. So tell us about Pig Gig, because I hope they're going to do it again.
Yeah, Pig Gig. Well, we took 1 year off because of COVID. Otherwise, we'd be at Pig Gig 9, and the one coming up, I would be 10. But I guess, is that right? Yeah. But I started it because, and his name is on my shirt, my younger brother's son passed away from a rare cancer. It's called fibrolamellar. It's just super rare.
How do you say it? Fibromorella?
Fibrolamellar.
Lamellar.
Yeah, fibrolamellar. And it's just a super rare cancer that, amazingly enough, it attacks young adults in their late teens and early 20s.
Good God.
Yeah, and so in his case, it was pretty, how can I say, it was pretty devastating because within 30 days of even going to the doctor saying, hey, I don't feel well, and they go, well, you've got a tumor. We got to go in, and 31 days later, he passed away.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So I started this for a couple of reasons. One, to help my younger brother heal. I mean, it was devastating. And
it's
then
your younger brother's son.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Jay Alexander. So that's why all the shirts say in honor of Jay Alexander. And I started it here to help. There's a foundation, and that's what it is. It's the Fibrolamellar Cancer Foundation. Yeah, there it is, right on the shirt. Fibrolamellar cancer. Look at that. And those people, their son passed away. They live in Connecticut. Their son started it before he passed away because he hung on for a few years. He started this foundation. They're pretty well off. They fund it. They sink a lot of money into it, but frankly, nobody else is raising any money. So I thought, you know what? We got to raise some awareness, raise some money, help my brother heal. We do it every year. You know the deal. It's a big bar. Man, I got my guy around the corner. He's a master. He owns a packing company, and he has this, he drags a cooker around, and so we roast a pig. And that was my younger brother's idea. It just came at the spur of the moment. He said, I'm coming out. We did it the first time just for the hell of it at my house. People showed up out of the woodwork, 80 people just coming to my house. Like,
on the front lawn?
We did it in the
yard?
Yeah. So we said, okay, let's turn this into something. And so my guy, Bill Kleemeyer from Green Village Packing, just all kinds of great food. And now we have all kinds of restaurants that donate for us and bring food, and I charge at admission. We have music all day. Southside Johnny always comes and sings and performs, and yours truly.
I showed up.
Mike Marino. We
up.
got Mike Marino at Pig Gig 8, baby.
And I'm doing it all the time now. I had so much fun, and the food was just unbelievable. I mean, who doesn't like ribs that just fall off the bone?
Oh.
and the whole area, because they did it at this Italian American club here in my hometown of Scotch Plains, New Jersey, and you could see that grill out in the yard making all the food, and then the food is served inside while you get to watch all the bands and have fun and mingle all in for a good cause. But there's nothing wrong with a nice big slab of
Yes, and he's
ribs.
got the great thing is, which I always get pictures of, I go out and he's got a whole pig on the rotisserie. It's going around. So he brings a whole pig in and carves it up. But then, we have ribs and we got the pulled pork and just all kind of food. So we eat our faces off.
Desserts, cakes, beer.
And we eat, exactly, beer and wine. And it's just a great deal. I mean, I think even this year, I don't know, remember what our charge was. I think it was only $60 or $65 or something.
And it's all day.
Goes from 2 in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night, straight through, music all day, food, eat your face off, and you get all that for that low.
Yeah. Plus, it's a good cause. You're donating money.
Yeah, and people donate. That's just it. We got people that send us money and donate. Some people donate their time, the restaurant, their products and stuff, and like you.
So how many years now? 8 years?
This is, this year coming up will be 9.
9. Is it definite? You're going to do it?
I'm going to do it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Do you have a date?
I don't yet. I got to lock that down. I always do it in October, either late September or October. The last few years it's been October. So
September, October.
Yeah,
in the
baby.
great state of New Jersey is a great time of year because the fall is starting. People are coming back up north from their Jersey Shore vacations.
Yep.
And school starts, so everybody's around, and you get to hear all this great music, all for a worthy cause. So hopefully when we do the next podcast, we'll be wearing Pig Gig 9.
And Mike, man, dude, you just killed it this year. It was people were just rolling, dying, laughing, and it was so perfect because we have music. But then sometimes it gets there are moments when people speak and everybody's in tears and shit. You come up, man, it was the perfect thing.
Nothing like doing comedy after somebody gives a tear-jerking speech about someone passing away. Now, we do have to do what we have to do, and you have to say why we're gathering and the sad truth about his brother's son.
Yeah.
And then you say, and it's just so sad, it's so sad. Okay, here's the comedian. What? Hello? I got on stage with rib juice on my face. Hey.
It's a good time, man.
All right, well, stay tuned, folks, because this is going to be another big Pig Gig 9, and I'll be making all kinds of announcements when that comes to fruition. And so you're listening. I just committed to be in the show no matter what. Let's lend
You heard it, everybody.
Lend our talents. Oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Exactly.
I can't make it. No, I got you on tape. Glenn, obviously, by his accent, is not originally from New Jersey. Now, you could tell that I'm from the area. How he's doing. But I like to go back to the origins of where my guest is from and bring you guys up to date on why he's in this area and what he does and why he's so legendary for doing what he does. So tell us about where you were born again.
Well, I was born and raised outside of Wichita, Kansas.
See, I love that so much because I never get to meet people from Wichita. I never even drive through Wichita. I only hear it. If you hear Wichita, you're watching some scary movie.
Exactly. It's either an old Western or some serial killer movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true.
BTK, that's Wichita, man.
Oh,
Blind,
see?
tortured, killed.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Yeah, blind, tortured, yeah. Yeah, so, but, it was a little farm community called Mays, Kansas, and there's nothing going on out there. I can't lie to you and say there is. And there never has been. There's people farming.
Mays, Kansas.
Mays, Kansas.
Is that named after corn?
After the corn.
Mays.
Mays, exactly.
Do they have a town called Corn, Kansas?
They probably do somewhere.
That's hilarious.
Whole wheat, Kansas.
Imagine going to a nice Jersey deli. Where are you from originally there, Glenn? Mays.
Yeah.
Right by Wichita.
Yeah.
Can I get a pork roll?
Yes, well, so that was it. There was nothing there. No education, no culture, not a damn thing. Just a bunch of farmers and people hanging out. But somehow my mother played piano, and I got I got deep off into the music thing because I did not. My dad at some point stopped, and he was a construction where he hung sheetrock for a living. So growing up, the two things I did a lot of was working on the farm, and then, construction work, hanging sheetrock and working. And I knew, I was like, I do not want to do this shit for a living,
yeah?
man, dude.
So how many family members? You and your brother?
I got an older brother and a young brother.
All right. So you're the middle kid.
I'm the middle.
I'm the middle kid too.
See,
There's a lot of middle kids in showbiz because we're fucked up.
well, exactly.
What do you want to do? I'm going to work for Dad. How about the middle kid? I'm going to be a comedian.
Yeah, exactly. We're always trying to fix everything and make sure everything's okay, and then slipping out the back when the work comes.
Yeah. Where you going? I'm going to tell some jokes. We need to pave. Not today, pal.
Exactly.
Oh, so you're the middle child?
Yep. And I did everything I could do in Wichita. To be honest, I mean it's a long story, but I did all the
No,
best gigs with all the best
I
cats.
want the stories that you said last time about the gangs,
Oh God.
the shotguns,
Yeah.
who you used to shoot at.
I used to.
You told us one great story, and I have to have it again about, I don't know, were you being mugged or you didn't know what to do? Can we have that?
Well, I'll tell it. There. So that old phrase, out in the middle of nowhere like that. There's two things that going on: fighting and fucking, and that was all we did, and it was a lot of both of those. And I mean, it's amazing. It was just a lot. We solved everything. Part of it's our time period, our generation. We solved everything by cracking somebody upside the head. That's just, now it's of course it's different, but everything at school and it's everywhere. So yeah, I got in a couple of scrapes. One of them, oh boy, yeah, it got pretty deep. And so I got in at one point. It's a long story. Yes, I was on the wrong part of Wichita, which amazingly enough is kind of a rough cow town. I got in the wrong part of town, and some girls. I think they're the ones who started the shit.
You're kidding. Did girls start the problem? That's so unheard of.
Exactly. Next thing I know,
Romance.
we're being surrounded by about 15 dudes who are kicking the shit out of us, and I wasn't one of my better or brighter moments, but I always carried a knife in my boot, and I even dodged a little bit, and it enabled us to at least make our way to the car without getting killed. Cops show up. It's like some shit out of a movie, man. We weren't waiting because they were surrounding the car. We were, my buddy, we're driving through people's yards, through clotheslines and fences and shit, doing 100 mile an hour, trying to. At that point, the cops did show up. We were already hitting on the road, and they were chasing us, and whatever. It was crazy. That was one of many.
But one thing that's cool about listening to that type of a story is you actually create a picture in my mind of what that looked like. Because if you got in a fight here in New Jersey, it's going to look like something out of West Side Story.
Yeah.
There's a basketball court, there's a fence, and there's a bunch of guys wearing Chuck Taylors running through the streets.
Yeah.
You hear about yours, you're thinking, you said clothesline, you're thinking weeds, you're thinking corn. Cows? Did you hide behind the cow? What the hell were you fighting about? And he said, I had a knife in my boot.
Yeah, well.
What are the chances that anybody in New Jersey has a knife in a boot? You probably don't even wear boots. If it's a boot, it's a construction boot. I bet you had a dingo boot, right?
Well,
Is that a dingo?
Here's the other thing you got to understand. Like, I swear to God, I got some bad karma because growing up there, we hunted, and I got some bad karma. I mean, I have killed everything that's moved. I mean, when I say that, I don't even want to admit to it the things, but any kind of creature that could move, I've killed it. And
With a shotgun?
yeah, shotgun, rifle, yeah.
See, I don't even know the difference.
I
I
even
said
used
shotgun,
to-
rifle.
Yeah, I used to trap too. I used to set traps for a long time. I would sell those hides, and I'd trap beaver and muskrat, and that we just because we grew up in the middle of nowhere.
Is that like for fun, or did you actually eat any of it?
Well, I would. So a lot of times I'd get. I know this. We had a couple of communities not too far away. They were the poorer communities. So when I got something, like they would buy raccoons and possums and all that kind of stuff. So
For eating.
yeah, I know.
Just spinning back to the pig gig, I can't see the pig. If I see it on the grill, I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I close my eyes. I walk right by it. So that when I'm inside and I'm eating the ribs, I create a diversion in my head. There's no pig on the grill.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not looking at the face of the pig.
You're not,
or the tail,
you're
or the
not
feet.
the only one. I have a lot of people who they were just like, no, I can't. I like to eat it, but I don't want to.
I don't want to know it was there. You lied.
Yeah.
You got it someplace else. That pig is there. It's made of plastic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lawn ornament.
They're instant ribs. You water them and they grow, and then you put them on your plate. You got to have a grow light.
We should do this show at night after we smoke a little.
Oh, God. Yeah, there you go.
How'd you cook that pig? Well, we got it at the 7-Eleven. It's so interesting. But so then what would be your influence to get into the music world? And the guitar wasn't your first instrument, right?
No, that's right. I mean, my mother did play piano, and she was pretty stupid talented. She could hear any song. We'd be driving in the car or whatever. She'd hear a song come on the radio, come home and just sit at the piano and play it. She didn't have to think about it. It was. She had some real talent. But
So she played by ear?
she read music really well, but she also played by ear. But so I started on piano, and then in school, like all kids, or most kids, I played a saxophone. I played a horn in the band at school. But then, to be honest, I guess that would have been, when I think about it, when I got the guitar bug, it would have been sometime in the 70s, early 70s. And man, radio then, dude, Leonard Skinner, the Allman Brothers, Led Zeppelin. I mean, let's just go down the list of everybody. That was what we had on the radio.
So, well, just real quick before I forget, can you still play the sax? Can you still play the trumpet? Do you?
I could probably squeak out a few notes, but I let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then again, naming all these rock and rollers, I can understand where you got your influence from.
Yeah.
I don't know, sometimes for whatever reason, I think of John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a Midwest guy. He's Indiana, man. Yeah. So
He's like a farm guy, right?
yeah, that's what I mean. He's from out in the flatlands of, and yeah, I like him too. Yeah, he's got some great songs, and yeah, all that stuff was influential, and it was only because, as I said, of working with my dad like just a dog to make money, and seeing all my poor ass family as farmers, and I just thought, man, I think I'm gonna try this. I was just dumb enough to think I could do the music thing.
All right, so you start playing the guitar, doing the music thing in Wichita.
Yeah.
And then when did you start headed out to like other cities and stuff like that?
Well, I played kind of in that tri-state area, but I had, long story short, I had the best teaching gig at a pretty young age. I was teaching at the Wichita State University. So I had the best teaching gig, and I played with all the best musicians in town, and I knew if I stayed, there was only one place to go, and that was down.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so I just thought, I got to get out of here, man. And I just packed all my shit up. This is insane. I had a little U-Haul trailer and a van. Everything I owned, I just got in the car and drove to... New York was really my destination, the New York scene. And I was on that scene for a long time, but I lived in Jersey, first Jersey City for years, and then Union City I lived, And, I don't know. Yeah.
I can only imagine what that would be like going from the Mays, Kansas,
Yeah, it was culture
to New
shock.
York City.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy, dude.
Like millions of people from around the world who pretty much do the same thing, comedians as well.
Yep.
You're either going to Los Angeles or you're going to New York City from somewhere small.
Yeah.
So Mays takes him to New York.
Uh-huh.
I mean, did you look at the city like, holy shit, am I out of my mind?
I certainly thought that well into the second or third year, because it was just rough going. Most people go someplace where they have contacts. Oh, not this dumbass farm kid. I just came out. I didn't know anybody. It was like, Jesus. I knew one guy, actually. He was from Wichita, great drummer. But I was here for 3 or 4 days, and he left to go out on the road. So here's another good one. Before I even I have a van and a U-Haul trailer. Never been here before. And I have a blowout on my van on the Pulaski Skyway. Now, anybody who lives here, there's no shoulder on the Pulaski Skyway, dude. So first
Do
of
or
all,
die.
I'm trying to, I'm just stalled out, and I'm trying to jack that up and fix it. And of course, as you know, I mean, I'm from Kent. People are pissed off. I'm backing up. They're honking and giving me the finger. That was my first experience. In
With
New
Jersey people.
Yeah.
Probably had a big guy in a truck next to you eating a slice of pizza going, what the hell, man? Were you from Maze or some shit?
Oh, that was.
Did you just get here?
Yeah.
That's dangerous, man.
Oh, dude.
The Pulaski Skyway is very, very old.
Yes, and I remember that. It scared the shit out of me. I got the tire change. It was like, holy shit. Anyway, it was a long go here. I spent a couple of years eating nothing but pretty much beans and rice because trying to meet people and make it happen, man.
How old were you around this time?
I think I moved here. I might have been 24 maybe, or turning 25, something like that. I don't know.
Just like a Cinderella story, just like you see in the movies. Now, I was born in Jersey City, so I know what Jersey City looks like. This is a town where mass amounts of immigrants way back in the day came flooding into the United States because you would go to Ellis Island, you would see the Statue of Liberty, and you made a choice. We're going to New York or we're going to New Jersey. They both border the area. You could pretty much stand on the island and look to the left and you see New York, look to the right and you see New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people picked New Jersey because it was a little cheaper than living in the Big Apple. I don't even know if they call it the Big Apple anymore. And Jersey City looks so much different than Mays, Kansas.
Yes. Well, and as you said, first of all, I moved out here. I had a chow dog. I didn't know anything about New York City. And yes, I couldn't afford anything. So I lived right off of Tunnelly Square in Jersey City so I could hop on the PATH train. Man, I'm in New York. So that was my work scene. I was playing a lot of jazz and things then. But yes. And here's, dude. I mean, I lived in this basement, one-room apartment, and at that time, that area was not a good area.
No, not at all.
And I remember coming home like in the first week or maybe 2 weeks. I'll never forget, there was across the street, the vacated house all gutted and shit. And, I come home, I get off the PATH train, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to make my way. And I walk down and literally there's just a trail of blood and I kind of walked back in there. It was like a little alleyway, and I guess some guy had some bad luck. He was all sliced up, and that was Here I Am, Mays, Kansas. I'm like, wow, things are a little different here.
Yeah. I wonder where they got the knife. Probably in their boot. Let me tell you something, man. Tunnelly Avenue is no walk in the park.
Oh.
I don't know what it's like now, but you have to have a lot of money to live in those areas now because they did do some remodeling, and Jersey City became the place to be because you're right outside New York City. You could take a train, and you're in the city.
Yeah. I did love it there, and I used to go down to the park and off of Communipaw. I think it was Lincoln Park.
Communipaw Avenue, man.
Communipaw Avenue.
So I went to Mount Carmel was my kindergarten in my first and second grade, so it's right around where you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then at 7, we moved out here to these beautiful suburban areas where you can park your car and leave the doors open and not have to worry about seeing blood on the street. Exactly. And you don't need to carry the knife in your boot. And most people here probably wear flip-flops.
Exactly, dude. Yeah.
Welcome to suburbia. We put on pig roasts.
So at some point, I did, to be honest, I had met a woman who became my wife, no longer, but we were together for a long time, and we wanted to get out of that area. It was kind of been there for years, and it was a bit of a toilet, and so I just rented a little cottage over in Westfield, the north end of Westfield. It was in the middle of the woods, and didn't know anything about it. And then I ended up here in Scotch Plains, man.
Westfield is a great town, boy. You got to have money to live in that town. They got some big-ass mansions over there, and that's the rival town to Scotch Plains.
Yeah.
Westfield, Scotch Plains.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
So when you were cutting your teeth, playing the guitar and doing stuff in New York City, then what?
Well,
you started playing with some bands, create your own band.
Yeah, I moved here. Yes, I wanted to learn. I knew the greatest players in the world were here, so I wanted to learn. And that was really, I didn't really intend to stay, but I don't know. I got in on the scene, and like I said, I was touring with a bunch of jazz cats and playing all over the place. And then, how can I say, all my early records were instrumental records and jazz records. Long story short, some crazy things happened with management that didn't go well. And it kind of ruined my appetite for playing that music. So I went back to just writing and playing the kind of music that started me out in this business, was rock and roll and blues, southern rock, and all that kind of stuff. And eventually that kind of led me to my gig that I've had for the last 15 years, which is Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. So everything happens for a reason. I'm so glad, with that gig, I've gotten to work with all kinds of kind of famous rock people and stuff. It's been great. And before that, actually, maybe I started working with members of that played in his band, La Bamba and Mark Pender, and all these characters that were eventually on the Conan O'Brien show. And so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, now I'm integrated into the Jersey scene, man.
But that's really, really great, because a lot of people who are watching the show from around the world have an affection for the Asbury Park, Jersey music scene.
Yes.
And he just dropped some really big names. How did that actually happen, that you started to play and/or met Southside Johnny?
Well, this is pretty funny. It really started with me meeting La Bamba and Pender, a friend of mine
Is
who
it La
played.
Bamba and the Hubcaps?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And
But they change their name, wasn't it?
his real name is, which is no secret, but his name is Richie Rosenberg. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But when he was in the Jukes, and he was with Bruce after the Jukes, but he got that nickname. But so I met those cats. Well, I went to see them at Madison Square Garden. They were on the Tunnel of Love tour with Bruce, and a friend of mine, a drummer who played in Heart for 25 years or longer. We went to Madison Square Garden together to see them, and he knew those cats, and he introduced me. And then I meet Mark Pender, and he's from Kansas City, so instant bond. Couple of Midwestern country hit guys, and
Maze Boys.
yeah. and then La Bamba. So I ended up playing in their bands. I was playing with La Bamba and his bands, and Mark Pender. And that kind of is what got me in on the Jersey scene, really, because La Bamba at that point, they were on tour with Bruce, Tunnel of Love. They did a bunch of records with him.
So they were the opening act for Bruce
No,
Springsteen?
they were in his band. They were the horn section.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh,
so
wow.
they were playing with Bruce, on stage and the whole 9 yards, doing all this shit. And I thought, wow, that's cool, man. So then I started working with those guys, and then it introduced me to that whole scene. And since then, I've gotten to work with those guys and with Bruce and Steve Van Zandt and Bon Jovi and the whole thing.
Man, that's fantastic, man, because you're playing with all these superstars, and they're probably looking at you like, hey, well, look, we really need you, man. We need you to be in with the crowd here.
We need a country hick. We got to dust this dude off,
Yeah.
man. And, yeah.
We need backup, because if there's a fight, we know you got a knife in your boot.
Exactly.
Aren't you from Tunley Avenue?
Yeah, it's so true. We need a country hick up here, Oh, Lord have mercy, man. But yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, I love Southside. We have a great time, and like I said, then it's
What is Southside Johnny's real name?
his name is John Lyon,
Right?
Lyon is his last name.
Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes
Yeah.
is a rock and roll band from originally Asbury Park, and they cut their teeth way back in, I guess, the 60s.
Yeah, they started in the late '60s. In fact, Southside and Steve Van Zandt were working, I think, at the Upstage, and they then essentially kind of auditioned Bruce. He was up and coming and hot, and then they all worked together, and then they split off in different directions, but they've all still they do things together, and it's a big brotherhood there.
It's a wonderful brotherhood,
Yeah.
and so many people know all about it. I would say about a month ago, I had Vinny Mad Dog Lopez
Oh, yeah.
on the podcast, and we were bullshitting all about this stuff, the
Yes.
upstage,
Yeah.
the downstage, what's there, what's not there, the original band, when they met, how they met, who he beat up.
Yeah,
There's another guy who's got a knife in his boot.
he's got now Vinny, of course, man, he knows that scene. I wasn't my scene. I was in the middle of Kansas when that shit was going on.
Wow.
But yeah, I never. That's interesting. I never intended to be in on the Jersey scene, it just kind of happened. And,
It's a great thing, man.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah.
So how did you actually meet Southside Johnny? Like, were you playing somewhere? How do you actually get accepted into another person's band?
I was working with La Bamba, I think, with his big band. There's La Bamba and the Hubcaps. That's his smaller group. Then he's had a big band for years. And I want to say we were rehearsing for maybe a gig at the Stone Pony or something, and Southside Johnny was going to do some songs with the big band. So I met him then. Man, that's been quite some time ago. And then I did maybe a record or two. I can't remember. We did a record with La Bamba, the Tom Waits record. Southside Johnny recorded all those songs. I don't know if I was in his band or not. But first of all, they offered that gig to me twice because Bobby, who super talented, Bobby Bandiera, he was in the band, but he was starting to go out with Bon Jovi. He was like second guitar player in Bon Jovi, you know. So he was starting to do that, and they needed somebody to sub. But I turned it down because I was so busy. I was working with La Bamba all the time in Pender, and I had a ton of things in New York and sessions and blah, 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 blah. So I turned it down twice. And then I was subbing on the Conan O'Brien show with, Jimmy Vivino had that gig. And so I would sub for him, and I was doing all of Max Weinberg's outside work. And I was working with La Bamba and Pender and all those guys. And then that show, the Conan O'Brien show, as you know, it was a short run, but they became the Tonight Show band for only about 6 or 7 or 8 months or something. So they all moved to the West Coast. When that happened, which now is 17 or 18 years ago, at least, when that happened, all of my work evaporated overnight.
Oh.
Because they went west. So La Bamba, I played in both these bands. Pender, played in that band. I worked with Max all the time. I had a band with the bass player Mike Merritt and Scott Healy. And I worked with Jerry Vivino, sax player. I mean, it was just like 85% of my work, like, went up and it was like, oh, holy shit. And I was in a panic. And long story short,
just like a TV series getting canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
We're canceling the series, like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? I thought I had work for the next year.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I had no work. I went from working to no work, and I was freaking out. And it's just weird how that shit happens. And it wasn't. I bet it wasn't a month that they were gone, or maybe a little longer. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And I get the call from Southside Johnny's people again that, hey, you know, he's out with Bon Jovi. He's on tour for the next forever. We need a guitar player. And that was that moment where I go, did I ever tell you how much I've always dreamt of doing that gig?
How much time do they actually give you to learn their music? And let me ask you this question, too, because you say you played with these guys.
Yeah.
Let's say Bon Jovi, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you go to a Bon Jovi concert back in the day when he was the biggest thing coming out of New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And you buy one of his albums, you see the 4 guys on the cover.
Yes.
How does anybody get to be a regular guy in the band?
Well, that initial band, you're right, is I think it is for 4 guys. It's the drummer and what's his name, the keyboard player, and Richie Sambora and Bon Jovi. Even the bass player. Well, the original bass player they replaced, and he never was. He was on, I think, almost all of the albums, but he never was a real member because there was that core band. And everybody else, like Bobby, he went on the road. He would carry, Bon Jovi would carry other singers and a backup guitar player and people doing all kinds of things, and you never saw them on stage. They would be off in the back, dressed in black. And
playing?
Yeah, playing. It was a little trippy. And
wow.
Yeah,
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, so
I figured, you got to see everybody who's in the band. They're just not on the album cover.
Yeah. Well, in that, it was trippy. And Bobby, of course, he hated that. I get it, because he was on the scene before John Bon Jovi. That's another thing. There's a pecking order, man. And John's still the young kid, even though he's not a youngster anymore. Cause
I know.
It became Bruce, frankly, Southside, Steve Van Zandt, and Bon Jovi in that order, really. And for them, it's still kind of that way. I mean, Bon Jovi's a sweetheart. He loves Southside, so he would sit in with us a lot. He was always just super respectful, and because he loves Southside. That's kind of. I mean, his first band was a Southside cover band, and yeah.
Well, Southside Johnny had some hits, right?
He didn't. That's a whole. Wow, he never really had hits. He
Well,
had big
wasn't
record
there
deals.
This Little Girl Is Mine, right?
Yes, and tunes like maybe even how can I say?
Didn't he have the Garden State Parkway Boogie?
I don't know about that, but
Doing the boogie, the Garden State Parkway Boogie.
it could be.
That's 70s, 80s.
Yes, he had songs that how can I say regionally they got airplay,
We're
but they
having
didn't
a party.
having
What's
a
that
party.
song?
That's a Sam Cooke song that he re-recorded.
Oh.
And also Renee, that was another one that was big for him, but none of those were, frankly, none of them were top 40 hits. He had big deals. In fact, he and Bruce, I think, were on, I want to say Columbia Records at the same time. And maybe, for a second there, Southside Johnny might have been bigger than Bruce, but then all of a sudden Bruce's thing exploded and blah, 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 and he took off. And so Southside's following
I remember
is really
being,
a cult following.
when I was a kid, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but everybody got in their car and that song, We're Having a Party. People were going screaming, driving from North Jersey to South Jersey, going, we're going to go get some girls, man. And that was the song. You know, you turned that shit up in your car back in the days when the IROC Z28 came out and whatnot.
Yes, well, we still close almost every show, or it's the encore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that, man. I wanted to come out on stage and sing with the band. I can't sing. I've gotten lucky to host the Light of Day. We talked about this, and I got to meet all these great musicians, and we laugh and we joke, and I'm glad that they actually like what I do. But I don't sing. I could play the drums in a song or two, but I would never overstep my bounds because I know how many guys are in line to do that. But just to be on stage with everybody is the greatest feeling.
Yeah, it's fun for me growing up in Kansas,
Yeah.
Like I didn't know these guys the way even that, of course you do, or the memories of them, but I certainly,
Oh, you know them better than I do, and you know them personally. I saw them playing at the Pig gig with you, which was cool.
Yeah.
But,
and Bruce, I got to say, Bruce sets in with us. He set in with us not this summer. I don't know if it was last summer, 2 years ago or something at the Pony, and also that's another brotherhood. I've done benefits for Steve Van Zandt with Southside. We backed up Bruce, Steve Van Zandt, because he does some big benefits in New York too at Tribeca Grill, and so I don't know. I've done them with Bon Jovi. Everybody's in on it together. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're blessed to be part of any of this stuff because the musicianhood is a difficult business.
Oh, yeah.
And it gets harder and harder with new artists coming out of nowhere. And it seems like some songs don't even have a plot or a through line or a story.
And they're here and they're gone tomorrow.
Oh,
but man,
it's awful.
It's a tough business.
Yeah. But I saw you playing. I saw you at Tim McClune's that night. I came over, and it was nice because you were with, I guess, your daughter.
Yeah.
And the band, and I came in there with my brother and my friends, and I'm like, yeah, this is Glenn. He told me to come. And
Yeah.
we got in for free.
Yeah,
That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
The guy comes to me up to the door and goes, what are you doing here? And I says, I'm friends with Glenn.
Yeah.
And he goes, you on the guest list? I'm like, I don't got to be on the guest list. I'm friends with Glenn.
Exactly.
I know people. I know people.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't arrest you immediately. Yeah, you're friends of Glenn. Yeah, well.
Imagine that.
Him motherfucker owes his
You're
money.
a friend of Glenn? Yeah. You got a knife in your boot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my tag for him for the rest of my life. You're friends with Glenn. Are you carrying a knife?
Yeah.
What is it like? Now, here's a question, because I write all my own jokes, right?
Yeah.
But I could never write a song. I don't know how anybody writes a song. It's the most amazing thing to me. It seems like so many comedians wish they were lead singers in a band, and so many lead singers in a band wish they did comedy.
Exactly.
And you were like, what the fuck you want to do what I do? I want to be that guy in front playing the guitar, getting all the girls, strumming.
I think that at this point, I don't know if that even exists, though. The guitar player getting, that used to be a thing. I think everybody would rather be in your shoes, brother.
Yeah, well, hey,
I'm
going to put a knife in my shoe. Anyhow, you told me that you wrote a lot of songs.
Yeah.
A lot of songs. I forgot the number. Didn't you say you wrote like hundreds of songs?
Well, yes, I think I've on I've recorded over 100 of
That's
my songs.
insane.
Yeah.
How does anybody write a song?
Well, it's the same thing. You just said you write your own material, your own comedy material. I think it's the same thing. I'm sure you got something that comes to mind. You go like, God, that's funny as shit.
Yeah,
And then
everything.
you construct it and work it out.
Yeah.
Same thing. I think I've realized my songwriting. I mean, I've never had any hit songs, so I think for me it's just therapy.
Yeah.
I got something to say, something to get off my chest, or something that I think is maybe kind of funny. I write in songs.
So when you were playing like at McClune's, you do mostly original tunes.
Yeah, that band Shadowland, Glenn Alexander and Shadowland is that horn band. It's a lot of the guys from the Jukes, and yeah, that's almost all original material. We do a handful of covers just so people don't get totally bored and go, "What are you up there? What's this shit you're doing? Can you play something we know?" And so occasionally we do.
So what would be, let's say, not your favorite song, but like a song that you think really gets the crowd even jumping and maybe in a great mood, or a happy-go-lucky type song as opposed to a ballad?
Well, it's got to be a rocker like you just, man, it's the theme too. We're having a party. That kind of shit.
I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody, because people go, the deal. They go out, they want to have a good time, they want to party, they want to laugh, and you just, hopefully you can come up with a couple of things that.
One of the coolest things about, let's say, that song, We're Having a Party, is it's easy to remember the words.
Yeah.
And it's fun words. And everybody feels like they can sing it. Mm-hmm. And, it's a type of song where you blast it in your car and you're the lead singer.
Yeah, there you go. It's like a song it's really called I Got You, but I Feel Good. And who can't remember that? And it makes you feel good to sing I Feel Good,
I feel good.
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Exactly.
All right, so can we indulge? Can we get you to grab your guitar and play something fun?
Yeah, sure.
Let me see if I can't pick the song.
Oh,
In front
Lord
of
have
me,
mercy.
I got a couple of gifts that I'm getting from Glenn Alexander and Shadowland.
Yeah,
look at that.
look
He's
at
a
that.
shadow. That's a cool ass picture.
Yeah.
I love that hat.
That's me with my country hick hat on.
Yeah. He said it. I didn't. And look at all these songs. You got 12 songs on this CD produced by John Isley and Glenn Alexander. So you produce your own magic here. Now, obviously, it has a code, so you can get that somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, it's, the CDs, of course, yes, but that, as we know, that's kind of obsolete, but you can still buy those.
Where do you get it?
Physical product. I mean, they still have those in Amazon. Of course, you can come right to my website and get all that stuff.
And the website is?
GlennAlexander.com. And, but, it's available on all the download and streaming platforms, and that's primarily what we do these days.
Yes. GlennAlexander.com. Here's his other album that I have in my hand, Knock on the Door. And there he is knocking on the door that's in the Mays, Kansas area.
You know what? That's
It looks like the cover of a scary movie, I got to be honest.
Yes, and I got to tell you, it was fun to take those pictures because that's right over here in the park in Westfield. We used to call it Turkey Swamp Park. I don't know what it's called now. They renamed it. It was Bryant Park or something. I don't know. And I literally carried a door out there. We didn't superimpose that. I carried a door out in the middle of that park.
I want to open this.
Yeah, that's some funny looking
It is funny
shit.
because, look, you see on the front, it's him poking his guitar through the door.
Yeah.
And on the other side, here's the guitar coming through the door. He's a comedian.
I'm knocking on the door, baby.
Who's knocking on the door? It's Glenn Alexander. Oh, shit. That guy carries a knife in his boot. All right, so let me be the one that actually... Can I pick the song?
Oh, Lord.
You play
Well,
just a
who
little bit of
knows? I don't know that I don't know if I know any of those songs. Lord have mercy.
He doesn't know his own songs.
No.
I got to open this up because I got to get me some autographs.
I can tell you.
Oh, wow, look at everybody.
Yeah, that's the band. And that's, look at that, man. And that cat in the middle, that's William Bell, who wrote the song Born Under a Bad Sign. And
Oh, wow.
that was at the Apollo Theater. I did a gig there, and he was there, and we hung out. And then I decided to put that song on that album just because William Bell wrote it, and it's one of my favorite songs, Born Under a Bad Sound,
Look how he still has his hair.
Yeah,
Look at all that.
I
Really
know.
long and everything. How come I lost my hair? All right, so right.
Because you're a funny dude.
Yeah, that's wrong, man. That's just wrong. You want to be funny, you better go bald.
How about let's see what's on that other. What's on there? Let's see what's on the other album.
All right.
Yeah, let's see what's on that dog. Yeah, That's the first one, the one you're opening now.
These look really, really great.
There's
really
some good
well
rocking
done.
stuff on there. Sometimes I do.
Great photo. Shadowland.
Look at
oh
that.
wow! Look at everybody.
I got to tell you, here's another just quick story. This is why I call my band Shadowland. First of all, you look that term up. It's got a trippy meaning, right? But the first electric guitar on planet Earth debuted in public in Wichita, Kansas,
no shit.
in 1932. Yes, and there was a guy there by the name of Gage Brewer. He was a guitar player and he led a band, and he had a club called Shadowland. So that's really where the name comes from. He had a club in Wichita, Kansas. The club was Shadowland. Gage Brewer played the first electric guitar in 1932, and
What did it plug into?
I mean, he had an amplifier at the time, I guess. I mean, to be honest, the guy who went on to found Rickenbacker Guitars is the one who made it for him, and it was just this weird pan-shaped thing that he stuck a pickup on, and
That's so wild.
yeah, isn't that something? 1932, trippy.
Could you imagine being in the audience going, "What the hell is that?"
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna share with you when I remember when I was young, I couldn't. All the early jazz players, the early cats who recorded electric guitar were guys from the Midwest. I mean, we look at all those. Charlie Christian, he was from Oklahoma. T-Bone Walker was from North Texas, and then you get some other cats who were playing with Count Basie. Anyway, I couldn't figure. I was like, what the hell? And then there you go, because they debuted
That's
there.
so interesting.
Yeah,
You would think the first electric guitar, would have been in New York City.
exactly.
I don't know.
New York or Chicago or L.A. And I'm sure people were tweaking with things, but this cat made it for his friend Gage Brewer and gave it to him, and he played it on stage in 1932, and the rest is history. That guitar is it's been around the world. It was here in New York in the museum, been different places. Now it sits in Wichita, Kansas. It's in a museum there. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, trippy,
That's so
right?
cool. All right, give us a beat, man.
I don't know how to. Yeah,
What are we
Lord
going
have
with,
mercy.
song?
Maybe
Something cool for a little couple of minutes.
I'm going to play.
What are we doing?
If you're
Pine Tit Blues.
Oh my God, that's some country hick shit right there.
Born under a bad sign.
Yeah. How about here's one. Actually, I didn't write this one, but it's on the first album, and I love it. It's called "If Your Phone Don't Ring." Because. I must have said some things that I did not mean. Baby, I was too young to know that a woman like you can drive a man into the ground. Ain't the kind of place I wanna go. I know you put me down and made me out to fool. Baby, I was too blind to see. Don't you sit by your phone, don't you wait up all alone. If your phone don't ring, well, you know it's me now. If your phone don't ring, if your phone don't ring, if your phone don't ring, you know it's me. I said I got no intentions of ringing your extension. If your phone don't ring, well, you know it's me.
That song needs to be for me. If your phone's not ringing, it's me.
That's exactly right. That's my last girlfriend. If the phone's not ringing, you know it's me.
I called you last night. Well, I didn't get any phone call. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Dude, that is hilarious. Oh, you got to give me something else. Give me another song. Wait,
That's funny.
is that on here? If the phone
There's
don't
one
ring,
on
it's
there,
me.
maybe called. There's one called. Well, there's some goodies on there, but I wonder. Well, there's a couple of kind of country things on there.
Can you give us a little country?
I picked the wrong day to stop drinking. Out your love, my world is surely sinking. I picked the wrong day to get sober. Now I know for me and you it's over. I picked the wrong day to see more clearly. Now I know that I love you dearly. I picked the wrong day to open up my eyes. Now you're gone, now all I can do is cry. I loved you, darling, from the first moment. Something that I laid my eyes on you. You stole my heart, stole my soul, Lord, it's true. I fell head over heels for you. There's some other good lines in there. I won't go on, but
Nice.
Yeah.
I won't go on. You hear the way he said that? I won't go on, but there's some nice lines in there.
picked the wrong
maybe
day
what-
to stop drinking.
Hey, listen, man. Speaking of drinking, speaking of like snacks and stuff like this, and where you come from, Glenn, for fun, I guess, makes some snacks. You see, he's laughing because I'm a huge fan of the snacks. In fact, the real reason why we had to record 3 times is because I wanted him to keep on bringing back the snacks.
Now the truth comes
The
out.
snacks were so good the first episode, I said we had a glitch. If it didn't record. The second time, that snacks, I'm like, man, maybe I could do it again. So Glenn, for some reason or other, when I went to go visit him at his house to decide that, yes, I'll do the pig gig, I noticed cases of beautifully packaged pickles. He makes the pickles, right? And not only the pickles, but he's got salsa.
Yeah, baby.
Salsa.
We grow all that, those Jersey tomatoes. I have a big garden, so I grow all that stuff.
All right, start from the beginning because this is big. And it is one of the other reasons why I had him come over because I'm addicted to this. Addicted. Go to a store, buy yourself some salsa. Get this from Glenn, and you tell me which one is better. And you're going to pick this up and go, how do I get more?
Yeah.
Right? And the pickles.
Yeah, so I don't know. Growing up in Kansas, we like to grow things. So
Talk to us, baby.
yeah, I
How
don't
did
know.
this start? Pick the
Yeah.
pickles first.
Yeah, I just started. I had a garden. My mom always canned, and everybody, all my family's farmers. So so I always have a big garden every year, and man, I had years where I didn't have to do anything except. I'd freeze all kinds of vegetables and canned stuff, and I'd hardly go to the grocery store.
His face is on the cover. Look at him, he's laughing. This reeks right now.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my eyes are going to start tearing. All right, I got my setup.
All right.
I got my fork.
Yeah, man. Get one of
The
those
first thing you
pickles
see
going.
right off the top is a pepper, right?
Yeah, put a little spice in there.
Oh, this got a kick to it.
You
Boy.
gotta have a little spice.
That'll put a fucking knife in your boot.
Yeah.
That's called milking the joke. Look at this pickle. Oh, it's fresh.
Man, look at that. That's gonna be.
It's
good.
going to snap. Do you want one, or is it just?
Yeah, no, I'll
You
have
want one too?
Yeah. Give me one of those slender little bitches. And all right.
Excuse my fingers.
Yeah. Oh, look at that, man. We'll see if they're any good. I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh man, that pickle's gonna be good. I can tell right there. Yeah. Oh man.
Could you eat that pepper
Oh yeah.
raw like that? Guys, guys.
Wow. Wow, that's good, isn't it? Son of a bitch. It's tart.
Did you see the kick? It just snapped
Oh,
my
yeah.
whole body.
Oh man, that's so
See?
good.
And we can't stop now.
Oh, God.
That's it. You got to have the rest of it.
Yeah. Oh,
I like it
shit.
in slices. I wouldn't put this on anything. I have to have the full effect.
Oh man, yeah, it's tasty. Yeah.
I'll try the pepper.
That probably won't be that hot because once it's in the vinegar and it sits in there for
Bullshit.
a while, it won't be that hot.
I'm going to be on fire in seconds.
Yeah, I'm saying that, but I don't think it will be. Let's try it.
Marinated. I should have
Yeah.
got water.
Yeah, see, it's got a little spice, but it
It
transfers
toned
into,
down.
yeah.
It toned down.
All that spice that's in that mixes in, and God, that's good. That's good, bitch.
Son of a bitch. Okay, now here's the salsa. Again, his face is on it. And it's called Ass Kicking Salsa. And this is the medium.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he had a hotter one.
Yeah.
The Generals, medium.
Yeah.
Eat at your own delicious risk. Fresh from the General's garden.
Uh-huh.
This is
I think
so fucking good, man.
maybe one of those guys on the Conan O'Brien band called me the General because I used to have a kind of a goatee thing hanging down, and my hair was long, and I wore a Western hat, and I think they thought I looked like General Custer. You know.
Guys, look at how thick that is. Oh, man, look at all I don't even know what's in here. Look at all the items that are in there.
Yeah.
Tell us what's in here.
Well,
That doesn't look like your regular
It's just
salsa.
It's just tomato, peppers, onions, garlic, and yeah,
His love.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And
All right,
cilantro.
so-
Yeah. And
I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to take it from the spoon, but I do have potato chips. See, I would put this on eggs. I would put this in
I
a
do.
taco.
I
Right?
love it on eggs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, bro. Fuck, bro. Go upstairs and get me ice water. I'm dying over here. I'm sweating.
Yeah, man.
Listen, you all know me. I love food. Food is the greatest thing. I won't look at the pig, but I'll eat it if I go inside. This is by far the best salsa I've ever had in my entire life.
it's
I
tasty.
could sit here and just eat it.
the jar.
Right out of here.
I know. It's
I
good.
feel like I would waste it if I put it on something else that had another flavor.
Yeah.
I want just this.
It's pretty tasty, I got to say. It's just all natural. There's nothing else in there, you know?
Fucking Glenn, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I keep fucking up your recording.
Yeah.
See, he has to eat his own shit.
I do, man.
Boom.
Look
Show
at it.
everybody that you're doing that. Look, he can't take. Boom. He fork fed
Oh.
that shit.
Wow. That's
Damn,
good.
bro. This is sick.
Yeah.
Screw the music business.
Yeah.
Sell
hell,
this shit.
That's what I should be doing if I had any sense at all.
Come
but I
on.
don't.
You need to sell this.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we're looking for sponsors.
We are.
We want to sell salsa. This is if you like going to watch rock bands, you need to buy salsa.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if that makes any sense. Holy shit. This is so damn good.
Yeah, I got to say that. Ooh, boy, that hit the spot right
I
there.
just
didn't it?
I want a sandwich with it. I do feel like we need to scramble some eggs and put it over the top of the eggs, maybe wrap it up in a tortilla or something like that.
I love it. I'm with you. I put it on everything I can.
Screw ketchup.
Yeah.
You have this salsa, you'll never have ketchup another day in your life.
Yeah, and that is not. It's got a kick to it, but not a lot. That's why I label them. That one's medium. I sometimes make mild. I have hot ones. You know?
I was going to say, if that's medium, I couldn't even believe what a hot would be. It would be out of control.
Yeah. Well, my daughter's the one who got me to tone them down because I used to make it, and she was like, "Dad, nobody even can eat this, and they don't want to. It's too hot." So I started.
Could you imagine? Nobody can eat this.
Yeah. It's like,
Your tongue is bleeding. It's so damn good. Folks, we're going to get going. Glenn, please tell everybody where they can find you. You really don't sell this to people, huh?
no, I make it for friends.
Then why do you have so many cases?
Well, so I do the one place you can buy it is at the Pig Gig.
Oh, yeah.
Almost every year. That's why I do a lot of it because I'll bring a couple of cases of pickles and a couple of cases of salsa, and I sell it there. And to be honest, it's overpriced. I don't know. It's $5 for a jar of salsa.
That's overpriced?
Yeah, and I
That's
think
underpriced.
it might be 10 for the pickles. I don't know. But it helps bring in some money, and then everybody. And I'm telling you, when I do that, like that's the first thing. People come from all over the country to the Pig Gig, and they go right to our merch table and buy all the.
Let me
salsa
tell you
and
something.
pickles.
$5 for this is underpriced.
Yeah.
This should be $20. you take 10, you put it towards your donation. The other 10, you put that in your pocket.
There you go.
And you get a couple of cases, and they fall off the truck at Mike Marino's house. Because this is really, really good. Like right now, I think maybe if I even put it on a nice hot dog.
I do that.
A hot dog?
I put it on hot dogs.
Big fat fucking hot dog, and maybe even put a slice of pizza, a pickle
There you
on
go.
that hot dog too.
Yeah,
this is
man.
underpriced. So if you can only get it at an event where you're playing, then we're gonna have to make sure we do a big announcement when you make the announcement for the 9th annual Pig Gig
Yep.
at the Italian American Club right here in my hometown of Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Yeah, baby.
Glenn, tell everybody where they can find you all over the internet. Come
You
on.
can, Facebook is Glenn Alexander Music. So you know the deal. Facebook.com/Glenn with 2 N's, Alexander Music. So I put, particularly when we get close to Pig Gig, all those dates will be up. All performance dates are up there.
But where can they buy your albums again?
They can buy all that stuff. First of all, you can get all the digital platforms. You can download and stream it, but you can even get the physical product, through Amazon and some of those places, and the downloads. And then you can go to my website. You can get Pig Gig T-shirts. You can get CDs. You can get all kind of stuff. Yes, there it is. The website. My website is glennalexander.com. Glenn 2 N's, Alexander.com. And then Shadowland, you can go there. There's GlennAlexanderShadowland.com.
And break his balls because you want this salsa. I think if you email him and you beg him, he might even mail you one. And if he doesn't, I'll do it.
Yes,
Right
I've
now,
done that
I
before.
just came up with an idea, and I'm going to close the show with this. I'm going to put the salsa on the pickle.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to set myself on fire.
That's a song, Salsa on the Pickle.
I wrote a song. All right, the title of a song. All right. I had so much fun today, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
baby.
so much, Glenn, for coming down 3 times.
Thanks for having
We're going to
me,
have you
baby.
down for a 4th time.
Yeah, we'll
so
do
I
it
can-
again next week.
I got to get... I got to keep up with the pickles and the salsa. We got to get going. Thank you, everybody, for coming down to the basement, live from my mother's basement. I want to thank my producer, Tatiana Blue Shell, for always making sure we have a great guest and we do a great podcast for you guys to watch exclusively on my YouTube channel, which is Mike Marino Live on YouTube. And also, we're on Spotify. So not only can you listen, you can watch everything at MikeMarino.net from now on. Let's make America Italian again. You know my motto. You don't know nothing. You don't see nothing. You don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my podcasts by saying the same thing with my guest? You remember? It's don't take no shit from nobody.
Oh, God,
Are
see,
you ready?
I love
Let's
that.
bang it
Ready?
out. Ready? Don't take no shit from nobody. I really believed you on that one. I was feeling it. Hey folks, thanks for watching live from my mother's basement. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, hit the word like and leave me a really cool comment. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the future episodes and you can watch some of the funniest videos on the internet. You can also listen to the show on Spotify or your favorite podcast app.